And look, I thought it was fake. Like, you know,
Chair calls the Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District Board meeting to order. Can we please bow our heads for a moment of silent prayer? Amen. Chair will entertain a motion to the agenda to add 16 section land as number 4.1, to add approval to apply for ESSA pre-K funds grant to 4.2, and everything else moves down. I said it again. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the agenda to add to 4.1, 16 section land, 4.2, approval to apply for ESSA pre-K funds grants, everything else moves down, and to add a consideration of executive session to 7, and make it number 7, number 8.
So moved, Madam President.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda.
so moved.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Good evening. Superintendent's report, March 2nd, 2021. The Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District's faculty and staff are working to ensure the focus remains on academic achievement. Superintendent Advisory Councils. The superintendent has established a parent, community, stakeholder, teacher, and student advisory committees. The purposes of these councils are to share ideas, discuss district and school information, and increase understanding as to how matters are addressed and decisions are made at the district and school levels. Third 9 weeks comprehensive exams are being administered this week. This data will be used to assist students with preparation for the upcoming state exams and school year, teacher support, and professional development. The state assessment exam schedules are available on the district's website and Facebook page. The GLCSD hybrid schedules. Faculty and staff began reporting to the physical buildings this week. The district will be closed for the week of March 8th through the 12th for spring break. All classes will resume on Monday, March 15th, 2021. Beginning March 15th of 2021, GLCSD students whose parents selected for them to receive the face-to-face hybrid instruction will report to the physical buildings. Students have been assigned to come to the schools 2 days per week, either Monday, Wednesdays, or Tuesday, Thursdays. Students will receive virtual instruction on Fridays and will not report to the physical buildings for this instruction. The next date for ACT testing is April 17th of 2021. The registration deadline is March 12th, 2021. Seniors who have not used all of their fee waivers are encouraged to contact their high school counselors to obtain one. The district hosted its virtual superintendent social on February 24th and 25th. To date, the district has recognized 181 certified staff, 181 classified staff, 540 parents, and 540 students. The superintendent and Mr. Charles Johnson, assistant superintendent, met with Dr. Gerald Briggs, president of Mississippi Valley State University, on Monday, March 1st, 2021, to discuss strengthening partnerships between the district and the university. The partnership will help create a stronger pipeline to implement innovative programs to support student learning and provide professional development opportunities for teachers and administrators, while continuing to increase our network of community ambassadors. Both the GLCSD and MVSU will benefit. It also increases student awareness of programs that Mississippi Valley State University has to offer and provides them with the much-needed exposure to university-level practices. This partnership could potentially increase the number of first-generation college students. Additional meetings are forthcoming. This concludes the superintendent's report.
Any questions, board members? Chair will entertain a motion to receive the superintendent's report.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Next, we have 16th section land report, Mr. Mike Ainsworth.
Dr. Brown, while he's also here for 16th section land, we want to go on with T.Y. Fleming as well.
Yes, ma'am. Next, we have the T.Y. Fleming property.
So, Mr. Ainsworth, we have Mr. Johnson, who has been receiving calls about the property at T.Y. Fleming in Minner City. So I want to make a motion to advertise in the news to accept sealed bids for the full purchase price of the building and the land in Minner City, dealing with T.Y. Fleming.
Okay, you can go ahead and get that advertisement started. And we would be expected, school to run it 3 times.
Board members?
Question. And the motion hadn't carried yet, Mr. Ainsworth. Are we gonna, has Mr. Ainsworth had an opportunity, or Mr. Johnson, to look at the value of the land, and the, I guess, building, even though I know it's not in, it may be in disrepair?
At this time, we would have to get an appraisal of the property if that's with the board's discretion to see exactly how much. And I guess I would get with Mr. Ainsworth on finding somebody that could properly appraise it. Or we could see the value based off the tax roll. It's the board's discretion in which amount you would like to use.
Madam President, if an appraisal would cost the district, correct?
Correct.
And in your experience, Mr. Ainsworth, the tax roll could potentially give you an idea of what the property is worth?
The tax roll will give you an indication. Sometimes an appraisal will come up at a higher value than what the tax assessment valuation would be. All depends on the comparable land surrounding that area and what the appraiser can find, reach its.
Okay.
You want to make that motion?
I was gonna defer to the board. I don't know which way. I mean, I'm referring to.
In your expertise, Mr. Ainsworth, what do you think as far as the property value and also the advertising, which we know that one should go first, so.
Well, in order to advertise and set still bids, we need to know the valuation we're looking for.
Okay.
So I think the board needs to make a decision, do they want to accept the evaluation of the tax assessment applied on the land roll? Or do you want to move forward with trying to find a local appraiser and retaining his services or her services to come up with valuation?
Can we do both?
Can
Question, Madam President. And Ms. Ainsworth, I know you can't tell me exactly, but the cost of an appraisal, can you give me a ballpark figure what that may cost?
I've never received a quote from an appraiser in the county, so I really don't know.
Okay.
So, Dr. Bailey, would you go on and make the motion about, giving Mr. Ainsworth the, authority to do the property value first then, before we even do the seal bid and all that?
Of course, Madam President.
Thank
So
you, Dr.
moved.
Bailey.
Second.
It's been motioned and second, all in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Mr. Ainsworth.
That will take us to open a bid for a hunting and fishing contract. You will recall that in section 29.341, the school board is required to advertise in local papers 50 seconds a week. And then we accept bids in a regular scheduled meeting. You've advertised, now it's time to open bids. The school board has received one bid, and the bid is submitted by the Leflore County Hunting Club Fishing Association, to Jack East. He is your existing leaseholder, and he is willing to pay $1,500 per year for a 5-year contract.
Question, Madam President.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Ainsworth, can you give us an idea what he was paying previously?
He's paying the exact same amount.
Okay.
That's out of consideration, it breaks down to be $38.75 an acre. That's more than fair for a hunting lot.
Chair will entertain a motion, for the hunting and fishing lease on 26-20 North-1 East, paying $1,500 per year for a 5-year contract.
Second.
It's been motioned and second, all in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Mr. Ainsworth.
The next item, I recommend you approve the termination notice, and this is something that, this is kind of, when I started doing the research back, I noticed that there was a hunting lease that existed out there, but that lease had expired. And so we need to file a termination notice to give the access to Kingston Clerk's office notice that piece of property has expired and should be back, set back in school. So if you would approve that on section 1522 North, 1 West, the acreage is 101.4 acres, and I prepared that document for signature for the superintendent and, school board president to sign.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve a termination notice to that hunting and fishing contract 15-22 North-1 West.
Second.
The motion is second. All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried.
Any general questions that need to be answered that may have come up between our last work session and tonight?
Board members, I know you got a pack in the back of your board packet dealing with those 99-year leases. And Mr. Ainsworth, you emailed each board member as well, right?
I don't believe I emailed actually all the board members. I think at the end of the day, we finished out with all those calculations that we could come up with for those 543 parcels, with the exception of the city parcels. They don't have a valuation on the tax roll, nor does the hospital. I don't, it's around, do you have a copy of that? Does everybody have a copy of that? No, it's a packet.
It's at the very back.
Oh.
We have it.
Okay, so if you just kind of just go through there, that's what the total dollar figure would be if all those were, renegotiated. I do have some news, based on findings today on the 99-year lease that was found at the courthouse. The amount of payment that was paid in 1947 was significant, over $48,000. So based on those findings, I don't think that what we discussed in that work session, will be an approach to take as far as renegotiating. But to let you know, that the school leases will expire in 2046. Okay?
So board members, if you have additional, questions for Mr. Ainsworth, I do have his personal cell and I can give it to you after the meeting, dealing with what we talked about. Any, other questions for Mr. Ainsworth? If nothing else, thank you, Mr. Ainsworth. Dr. Brown.
Approval to apply for ESSER pre-K funds grant, Ms. Coleman.
Local education agencies that operate pre-K classrooms that serve 3- and 4-year-old children to include regular education, inclusion, and self-contained classes are eligible for ESSER pre-K funds. The Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District must submit a notice of intent to apply by Thursday, March 4th, 2021. $4,650 will be awarded to each of the 8 pre-K classrooms in the district, totaling $37,200. These funds will be used to secure Kindle tablets and sanitation supplies. These devices would be owned by the students and not the district. They would have them to take home and to keep them. Any question, board members?
No question, Madam President.
Go
So will
ahead.
these devices replace the Chromebooks, or are they expected to have both?
They're expected to have the Chromebooks and these devices. We will use them in tandem with our regular instructional resources and computer-based programs. But we wanted the Chromebooks, they come back to us, but the Kindle devices, they would keep and own.
Thank you.
And there is a difference between a tablet and a Chromebook, correct? Yes, ma'am. The Kindle is more designed for reading, and the Chromebook can be used for multiple functions. Dr.
How many-
Brown, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How many pre-kindergarten students do we have?
We have about 100.
And what mechanism do we have that ensures that they're using those throughout the time period?
We would support those Kindle devices by loading the reading material on them. The students would be allowed to take them home, and it would serve as like a textbook. So we would load, our technology department would help us to load the material, and students would use them inside and outside of the classroom.
What state-supported assessments do our pre-K students have to take?
Our pre-K students have to take the MCAS-2, and they will be testing in the month of April. They assess in August of each year and in April of each year. And what we do is we test them at the beginning of the year and end of year to see how much growth they've attained in a year's time.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Brown?
The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the submission of the notice of intent to apply for and the submission of the ESSER pre-K funds grant application in the amount of $37,200.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the submission of the NOI to apply for and the submission of ESSER pre-K fund grant application in the amount of $37,200.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Next, you have board policy DJB petty cash accounts.
Board members, as you can recall on last week when we talked about board policy for the petty cash, we have to come up if we're gonna set an amount or just leave the amount off. And also I was advised to say what we would use it for and what we will not use it for. But our attorney, once again, can give us the language, or Ms. Washington, as the business manager, can also give us the language that MDE uses to say what it is for. Mr. Pulley or Ms. Washington, do y'all have any comment?
Just an observation, as the discussion was on last week, you either could set an amount, a limit, so to speak, on the petty cash, or you could revise the language to just state that the petty cash should be used for postage, which that is already in the policy, but if you want to add other things such as emergency expenditures, you can do so with whichever the business manager would deem to be an emergency expense. She probably could give us that more specific, they know what they run into more often.
Ms. Watson?
Okay, I did give you a copy of what's been spent so far out of petty cash, and the amount I gave you the other day was on how much we use for athletics. But that's been redeposited back into the account, so we don't keep that. But this is what's on hand. And as you look through that report, you see most of it what it's for. We hardly ever use petty cash. We normally go to that purchase order system and go to the store with the purchase order. So unless it's something that we don't expect, that's the only time we would normally have to go into the petty cash box. But it's very rare that we go in there.
So, Ms. Washington, the, amount that you told us on is,
It was,
so it is, on the second page, that is the amount, the total, the first total on the back page.
no, that last total is how much is left in the
Okay, but I'm saying, but the beginning balance is,
look at the top of the 7/1/2020, up at the top.
mm-hmm.
That's what the start of the amount.
But that's not what you, that's not what you
And
did.
I told you before, it was for athletics. That's what I remember when you asked the question. I
Oh,
remember
okay.
before. But we already deposited it back into the account, but that was for athletics, because they have, had big games and stuff. But that, we hadn't used that money since, last school term, when they, closed out the season.
So you can use petty cash for athletics?
Yeah, you can use, we have to have, monies for them to start up. When
Okay.
they, purchase tickets or concessions, change in concession, you have to have some money for them to start up. And it happens, it acts as, same with food service. When food service starts up, they actually start up cash for each school. At the end of the year, they have to deposit that money back into the account.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't stay cash in hand all year. It's just during the period of time that they operate.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever had to increase the, PC limit? Not for the district we had.
Okay, Mr. Pullett, about, can we, put the language in there, like I spoke about last week in Ms. Washington, about it being more than one person? Like, it shouldn't be the same person that, receives it and approves it. Can
Yes,
that
ma'am.
language be in there? Or
Yes,
is it?
I'm looking at the policy now. I want to say that, I'm not sure if that exact language is in there,
Y'all understand what I'm saying, board members?
but we can add that.
Yeah, received by and approved by, and if you can look at that, you'll see, y'all see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
we want that language to be very clear, that it should not be received and approved by the same person. So we can just,
We can
Use the language.
add, we can add that, we can make that revision, this evening, and, we can.
but I'd rather us just take our time on it, and then when our next work session, that'll be our first read, and we can just go from there. And board members individually, if you, because like we have not decided if we're gonna say a set amount, or we just gonna leave it like the amount that they already have in there. Say it in the mic for the community.
I would say like an even maybe 2,000.
I think it should be more.
So, Dr. Moore said, well, what you say, Ms. Abraham? Okay, so that's why we'll just leave it until next time for, cause Dr. Bailey stepped out for a second, and we definitely wanna have our input to see what the majority is
What is
gonna be.
that policy, the title, policy title?
Petty cash account.
DJB Petty, you got it on your desk. It should be, it look just like this. It's on the back of this right here, look.
Okay.
So,
Didn't we discuss though in the meeting, something in regards to dual control, like two people going to the actual cash drawer?
But see, that's what we're saying, like on here where it says receiving approved, we want it to be two separate people instead of just one person. And that's what we want the language to reflect.
Okay.
Okay, so, Mr. Fuller, our attorney, we're gonna do it for first read for a work session for March. Okay, that'll give us time to be able to have more discussion. And for some reason, the other one is not on here about, school board visits. We'll make that one a first read also. Every one of you should already have that sheet that I provided. Okay, Ms. Abraham, we gotta give it to you because you weren't here. So Ms. Flowers, before we leave today, if you don't mind, could you give Ms. Abraham that policy on school board visits along with that attachment, to show the, documentation for when we go out to school, okay? Okay, thank you, Ms. Flowers. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Brown?
Next, we have approval of the 2021-2022 school district calendar. Mr. Johnson.
Attached is a copy of the proposed 2021-22 school calendar. Faculty and staff were provided with two calendar options, and the majority selected the attached calendar. You will find a copy of the attached calendar as well as the proposed calendar and voting results.
Mr. Johnson, what was the difference in A and B?
One included, draft B actually included President's Day with no Good Mondays, and draft A included Good Monday with no President's Day.
Dr. Brown, are there any built-in snow days as well?
No, not built-in snow days.
If you notice at the bottom, it's saying the event of school closure due to inclement weather, Good Monday will be one of the makeup days, and depend on.
Yeah, but I was just wondering if we have any additional days built in, like we had for this school year.
No.
Okay. All right, Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends school board approval of the 2021-2022 school calendar as presented.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the 2021-2022 school calendar as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Next, we have page 15. Delta Streets Academy Private School Out-of-State Travel Request. Dr. Cook.
Delta Streets Academy Private School is requesting one administrator to attend the 2021 Administrators Conference in Orange Beach, Alabama on May, I think that's supposed to be 25th through 27th, 2021. The administrator is requesting reimbursement for meals and mileage after returning from the conference. If approved, the conference will be funded with Title II Equitable Services funds allocated to the private school.
Any question, board members?
I have one question.
Yes.
Is this the first time this type of request has been submitted from this organization?
No. Each year they have certain funds allocated to attend such conferences.
Just for the record, Dr. Pulley, this is Ms. Abraham, probably first time seeing this, so help me, if I'm not saying it correct, I know it's Delta Streets, it would be St. Francis, who else would it be that would fall under this category?
Delta Street, St. Francis, North New Summit.
North New Summit, yes. So whenever they have this type, they have to come through our board to receive those funds. Thank you so much, Dr. Pulley, Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the out-of-state travel request for Delta Streets Academy's administrator to attend the 2021 Administrators Conference in Orange Beach, Alabama on May 27th through the 28th, 2021.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the out-of-state travel request for Delta Streets Academy Administrator to attend the 2021 Administrators Conference in Orange Beach, Alabama on May 27th and 28th, 2021.
Second.
The motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. And Ms. Abraham, for the record, you can see on the back, it'll tell you what all they're going to do. Okay. Okay. Dr. Brown.
Approval to grant administrative leave with pay on February 15th through the 19th, 2021. The Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District was closed due to inclement weather. Pursuant to School Board Policy AFC, the superintendent is authorized to declare an emergency and to close schools and district offices or dismiss them early in the event of a natural disaster, inclement weather, or other emergencies which threaten the safety, health, or welfare of students or staff members. School Board Policy AFC authorizes the school board at its discretion to provide administrative leave with pay for all employees, professional, certified, and classified, in the event of declared emergency closures. Based on this policy, the superintendent is recommending that the school board approve the administrative leave with pay for all certified and classified employees for February 15th through the 19th of 2021.
Any question, board members? Dr. Brown.
Pursuant of School Board Policy AFC, Authority for Emergency Closures, and School Board Policy GBRI, Absence from Duty, which authorizes the school board at its discretion to provide administrative leave with pay for all employees, professional, certified, and classified, in the event of declared emergency closures. The superintendent is recommending that the school board approve administrative leave with pay for all employees, professional, certified, and classified for the entire time period for which the district is closed for the declared emergency beginning February 15th through the 19th of 2021, and any additional days related to closures of schools due to a state of emergency.
Chair will entertain a motion. After hearing the recommendation of Dr. Brown, I will entertain a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation.
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried.
Next, we have approval of the 2021-2022 administrative salary scales. Attached is the 2021-2022 administrative salary scale for the Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District.
Any question, board members? Ms. Abraham, you weren't here on last week, so if you will look on the back, 1, 2, 3, number 4, 5, number 6 was added to that. Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends school board approval of the 2021-2022 Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District's administrative salary scale.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the 2021-2022 Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District's administrative salary scale.
So moved.
Second. It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Approval of submission of the 2020-2021 Mississippi Community Oriented Policing Services in Schools, MCOPS grant. Mr. Johnson.
Thank
Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District is requesting approval of the submission of a $50,000 grant through the MCOS program established within the MD Office of Safety and Orderly Schools Division of the School Safety for operational and program support of its 4 school resource officers. The grant period is from December the 1st, 2020 to June the 30th, 2021. The purpose of this grant is to increase or enhance community policing in the state, providing SROs to play integral part in the development and enhancement of a comprehensive school safety plan, and providing a direct link between the school district and local emergency responders.
Okay.
Mr. Johnson, so how will we specifically use that money for our school district?
What we normally do, the 50,000 goes 10,000 each toward the SRO salary. We use it strictly as a supplement to their current salary, whatever their current salary. We use those 50,000 to go into. I want to say at this point they removed Mr. Brown and the 4 SRO officers that we have currently. It will go to their salaries.
And when you say go toward, not above, but just in that salary?
Just in whatever the current salary is to supplement the cost of the district. It's 4 including Mr. Brown. We'll make the 5th.
That's not the entire security department.
No, that's only the school resource officers. We have school safety officers and school resource officers. The resource officers are the ones that are certified police officers.
Okay. So with this grant, would the officers have to be certified to receive?
Yes, part of the grant is so many hours that they have to meet. They have to meet a minimum of 40-hour requirement. We do have our officers currently meet that minimum requirement.
How often can we, apply for this grant?
Well, actually, this is the second round for the 2021 school year, and the next board I'll be actually submitting for the 21-22 school year.
For the same amount?
Yes, for the same.
So who works together to apply for this grant? You?
Actually, the Office of School Safety and Security, Mr. Brown, and his staff works on the grant.
Dr. Brown?
The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the submission of a $50,000 grant application for the Mississippi Community Oriented Policing Services in Schools Program, MCOPS, for the 2020-2021 school year.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the submission of a $50,000 grant application to the Mississippi Community Oriented Policy Services Schools Program for 2020-2021.
So moved.
It's been motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Next, you have the monthly financial reports. Mrs. Washington.
Good evening. Good evening. Monthly financial report, I should for March 2nd. Attached to the financial reports for the month ending in February. The following reports are attached to cash balance report, fund balance report, budget status report, cash flow statement, bank reconciliation reports, claim docket. Expenditures to date are within the budgeted amounts. Cash balance on hand
Dr. Brown, I have a question for you.
Yes,
If you
ma'am.
could look on page 111,
Okay.
if you can look down at the bottom of the page,
Okay.
let's just start from the bottom and count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So is there like a training for a principal?
Yeah, those were, we have the 3 principals who are in the superintendent's academy, that's
Okay.
travel reimbursement.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, Ms. Washington, on page 92. What is, Dragonfly Athletics?
That's the program we use to pay, referees. Instead of us cutting checks directly to the referees, we, partnership with the Dragonfly to, provide payment. We just pay them.
Thank you.
That's all. Question, how much, Ms. Washington, have we just, I guess, roundabout figure, how much have we spent basically on, supplies for the returns to school, the COVID-19 supplies?
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Just give me a figure.
Mr. Johnson told me you never figured it out
Okay.
yet.
He was gonna be my next person. Yes. Okay.
And I'm trying to base it off the expenditures that I just looked at. I know over 300,000 as of right now.
And we do have enough, that's more than enough.
Oh, we'll still
Okay.
order. We just put in some orders this week.
Okay, thank you.
And Dr. Brown, we are using all the funds that we have available that were given through the COVID, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other question, board members?
What was that initial amount, Mr. Johnson?
CARES money,
Mhm.
Yeah.
1.3.
And it has to be spent by when?
They extended it to,
2022,
yeah, to 2022.
Okay.
I think December 2022.
And they have released the CARES 2 allocation, but the application hadn't been released as of yet.
And what's that amount?
That was 15.6, if I'm not mistaken.
If nothing else, board members, Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the February financial reports and payment of claims 947651 through 947795 for the Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the February financial reports and the payment of claims 947651 through 947795 for GLCSD.
So move.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Board members, if you don't mind, there were 2 things that we forgot to mention. We have an active shooter drill and an update on Amanda Elsie High School girls basketball team. Mr. Johnson.
And we would like to say congratulations to all our local teams. They all did actually make the playoffs. Amanda Elsie girls did advance to the second round where they hosted Amory High School, but unfortunately they fell in defeat. But we do want to congratulate them as well as all our other basketball teams for a job in the season. Well done.
That's right. Let's give them a round of applause. And also, board members, let's give those hardworking coaches a round of applause.
And just to mention, the active shooter drill, it would take place at Greenwood High on Thursday. It would be starting at 8:30 that morning. We will have our local agencies as well as EMT, county, and possibly a couple of state officials to help participate with our school resource officers and school safety officers in that active shooter drill that's required by the state. So they will be seeing vehicles and things at Greenwood High on that morning throughout that afternoon. So we don't want the public to be alarmed or the board to be alarmed that something is going on at Greenwood High. It's just an extra children that's required.
What day is that?
Thursday, March the 4th, this coming Thursday.
Is, district testing going on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Will that interrupt district testing?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Some kind of way too, Dr. Brown, I don't know if it was me or if it was you, I don't know, it probably was me, that, we forgot about extending our COVID pay for, our teachers, so, Ms. Flowers, if you can, make sure that we put that on our work session for March. And, Dr. Pulley, Mr. Pulley.
Board members, I did notice that, that wasn't on here, but I think we covered because I believe that you all extended it, through the end of March. So as long as we get it on for the April board meeting, it'll be fine.
So, Ms. Watson, please, I'm sorry, Ms. Flowers, please make sure that that's on there. Okay, Dr. Brown.
Next, you have the consent agenda, which includes minutes of the special call board meeting of Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021, minutes of the regular board meeting of Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021, minutes of the special call board meeting of Thursday, February 11th, 2021, minutes of the special call board meeting of Friday, February 12th, 2021, minutes of the special call board meeting of Wednesday, February 24th of 2021, minutes of the work session of Wednesday, February 24th of 2021. Next, we have personnel recommendation. The superintendent recommends approval of the consent agenda.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Been motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried, Dr. Brown.
Approval of personnel recommendations. Attached is a list of personnel which requires board approval for the 2020-2021 school year.
So, Ms. Abraham, if you could look at page 191, and you see that first person, that's one of the examples that we were given for North New Summit. Any question, board members? Oh, Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the personnel for the 2020-2021 school year on the attached page.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the personnel for the 2020-2021 school year on the attached page.
So moved.
It's been motioned and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Chair will entertain a motion.
One
No,
more.
ma'am. No,
One more, Ms. Mills.
One more.
It's one more?
One more, yes, ma'am.
Approval of personnel recommendations.
Oh,
Attached
sorry.
is a list of district personnel which requires board approval. Contracts will be issued as required for the 2021-2022 school year.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the personnel for the 2021-2022 school year on the attached page. Contracts will be issued as required.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Chair will entertain a motion for consideration of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Yeah, please turn your mics off.